Now, I've got to try and get this bolt out here. Take this engine guard off, and then there's a bolt in there that's sheared off. So come on, focus. So these this engine guard, we've just been looking there, the bolts are actually like an 8.8 grade, whereas the standard ones, which is sort of like what that is, that's a 10.9. So these should be a little bit softer with any luck. So the plan is take this guard off and try and extract that somehow. That job went fine, really. I drilled down the centre of that bolt and put a Torx bit in, and it just unscrewed. I did try a left-hand drill bit, but it wasn't biting enough to pull it out. It was just drilling. The guy was with me, so I couldn't film it. That's why you're not going to get to see what actually happened, but it was a pretty straightforward job. Took about half an hour. Took the engine guard off and then drilled it out. He'd ordered the bolts to replace you know, these aftermarket bolts, but unfortunately they've not arrived in time, so it was just a case of drilling that bolt out really and putting the frame back on. So I'm going to pick up a bike. It's a Honda scooter, and I think from what I've been speaking to the customer about is the engine's got no compression, so it's going to need some engine work. And yeah. Right, I'm back home now. So the first job today, you might have seen, I drilled out an engine bolt on a KTM. I couldn't film it because the customer was wanting to see it being done. And then I went and got a scooter, collected a scooter, which appears to have low compression, so that's going to need a fair bit of engine work. And then I went out to a Ducati that had, so on the odometer there's just dashes across the display, so you can't see the miles. And I said to the customer, I can do it, yeah, I've done them before. However, when I've gone into Texas, they've actually took this ability away, so you can't do it now. So you have to take it to the dealer. So the customer, as you said, I'm not going to charge you. It's a free, you know, whatever. I can't do it anyway. So it seems to be only the 2013 to 2015 Multistrada that was mentioned on Texas. So I don't know if you can still do it on the old Monsters and things like that. You used to be able to do it. Anyway, so I also had a phone call from someone who was in a bit of a desperate moment. He said that he's moving house, he needs his bike running, and I said, you know, I could probably come out this afternoon, only to find out that he's an hour away basically. So I just said, oh, I can't do it, I'm afraid. Anyway, I've come back with a scooter. The nut for this bike has arrived, so for the rest of the day I'm just going to put this back together, I think. I'm going to have to order the bits for the back. They are available, I'll be able to get them next day delivery, so I'm kind of tempted to order them now. What day are we on? Yeah, so if I order them now they'll come tomorrow, and it's the bank holiday weekend, so I'm not sure what I'm doing Friday. I'm not sure if I'm working or not. I have got something booked in, but it's a bit up in the air at the moment whether I'm going to do it or not. So yeah, so we're going to get this back together, at least the front end anyway, and then tomorrow I have got a lot of work booked in with a good customer. He's got lots of nice bikes. I've got a CB 750. Now this is an old 1970s bike, I believe. So I'm waiting on a couple of carb kits to come, and I don't know if they're going to come in time. And so that might be a job that we have to put on hold. Anyway, I'm going to get some grease out, get these bearings greased up, put the front back together on this bike. There's also a couple of other things that I need to do. I need to address, there's a missing O-ring on this oil filter, and I still haven't actually ordered it yet. So, as I say, I've got this nut now, so not expensive. I don't know if that's in focus. Yeah, so a nice new nut. Right, lots of grease on that one. That's 72. And the axles, this sort of thing can happen. So there's like an edge there, and that's from people hitting it with a hammer. So might as well deal with that as well. So just put a bit of oil on this. And then we're going to refit the wheel. Got to find the nut actually. Oh, there we go. Right, so I just want to talk about this bike now. So this is a Yamaha Maxim, hasn't got any badges on, so it'd be hard to work out what it is really, especially as it's more of an American bike. So a lady customer, she contacted me, it's got to be 5 years ago now. She had two of these bikes, and she wanted one of them doing up really nicely, which is this one. So the other one I managed to get running so that she could sell it. This one has been, you know, it's had the works done to it, so it's had quite a lot of work done very early on. So the engine came out, frame got powder coated, I painted the rear drive, cam cover, cleaned the carbs, and then later down the line she got this exhaust system made up by another company. Can't quite get it in shot there, but a reasonable exhaust, because the original one, and it was the same on the other bike, they were both rotten, so there wasn't much saving. And so when it came back, it was gone a year by the way for this exhaust system, so it was gone a year, came back, and then it stood for a couple of years really. And then one summer I painted the tank, the mudguard, the tail, these panels here and here, carb tops, grab handle, rear light unit. These parts were chrome originally. A lot of these were chrome, so I've painted some. the clocks and everything I've left chrome in the headlight. Anyway, so it's basically on the last few bits to finish really. I need to get, I'm getting a gasket for this cover, because they just take a rubber cover, like it sandwiches a rubber gasket basically. I need that gasket to finish this side off. The engine is running, however the carbs have been a little bit problematic. I've had them off recently to clean them, because it's just, you know, that length of time, stuff always gets in. So I've had them off recently to clean them, and they were, you know, fine. And then obviously the tank, it's been empty for, you know, a number of years until I painted it. And obviously when it's running now, I've got a new fuel tap on this, by the way, so I put a new fuel tap on it. The old one was just starting to fail, you know, in the situation where you leave it for a little bit of length of time and it just kept dripping in to the carbs and petrol would leak out. Hasn't leaked into the engine, fortunately. So it's got a new fuel tap, and at the moment it runs okay, but it's every now and then it's flooding one of the cylinders and it keeps changing. So last week it was like number 1, and yesterday it was number 3. It keeps doing it, and I've noted that the fuel line, the fuel line that I use on these sort of things is a clear one, so that you can see the fuel. Anyway, I can see dirt coming through, so I can see little particles. So I think that the filter on the new fuel tap is allowing just tiny little particles to come through. You know, in hindsight I should have just put an inline filter on that fuel line, but I didn't. So the plan now, I'm going to connect up all the carbs, drain screws, drain holes, to some hose, and then make up some sort of like flushing system. So open up the drain screws just a little bit, connect all the pipes up together, connect them to a fuel pump, an external fuel pump, and then get it to basically flow fuel through the system and back into the tank, and put an inline filter, you know, a sacrificial filter if you like. And I'm hoping that I'll just catch what dirt there remains in this tank, and then hopefully it'll wash out the carbs and it'll save me from taking off the carbs, etc. So I'm going to get on with that, and then that'll probably be today finished with, I think, hopefully. I have to decide. I'm gonna get the bits for tomorrow for that Kawasaki, because I just don't want to wait until next week because of the bank holiday weekend. So I'm going to order that before I forget. And I believe I've got a tyre machine coming as well, so this might actually come tomorrow. I don't know for certain yet, but there's a tyre machine, a proper, you know, garage size tyre machine is coming tomorrow. I've been fitting tyres by hand manually with a couple of tyre machines. That one's like a commercially available manual tyre machine made by Sealy. I've been using that for a few years, and I've been using, a friend made me a tyre mounting system, and it works just as well as the Sealy one, but I'm just struggling with manual tyre changing at the moment. I just feel like I need to automate it. It's you know, I've been putting it off for years, so I've ordered a tyre machine for the business, so you might get to see that tomorrow. If not, then we'll go and do either this bike or we'll go and do a CB750 carbs to overhaul, one or the other anyway, so we'll check in later. Anyway, if that's the end of the day, thanks for watching. So this is my setup at the moment. I've got it, basically these pipes are coming from the bleed screw float ball area, So that's the way I've got it set up, is I've got these fuel lines coming off the bleed screws, going to this filter and then through a pump into the tank. So anything that's getting caught in here is dirt from the carbs or the fuel tank, I suppose. So far it didn't look too bad really, but I'm going to have to leave this for a little bit because I've just been called, I've got a job to go to, so I'm going to go and service a KTM 1290 Duke. So grab a filter and go and do this last job for the day, which I totally forgot about. So just got to make sure this is safe. So I'm going to put the cap on, drain off whatever fuel that's lingering. There's a little bit of a leak, so contain that a little bit. Turn off the bleed screws. This is not ideal, to be honest, but it's just a way of trying to get rid of as much dirt out of the carb system as possible, and